they love it. So you had another question, I think?
Yes, about the summer program.
Yeah, summer program.
Yes, for our student, in order to get into the IB program, most of them need to take at least 2 years summer program.
Yeah.
And which book up a lot of time for their summertime to
Right.
experience more.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wondering, because some of the summer program, it seems not suitable to offer in those summer period, like biology. If the kids take the biology in summer, they don't get the lab.
You would like to see them take that like in the evening during the school year?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Does the district has some authority to make a decision on that, or because I know the classes is basically offered by the Warnock Education Foundation.
Yeah, it's another very good question, and it actually ties into an earlier one about money. And the question is, an after-school program like that is one that we would charge for, and we are asking the question of, is that legal for us to do? And in some ways it may not be, so we need to sort that one out, but we're interested in, because we know there are students who would like to take more classes than we're offering, especially at the high school level. So perhaps setting up something in the evening. The other thing we need to look at is online, and looking at classes, offering them online, and we're pursuing that too.
Here.
Yeah, what I'm hearing you share is a lot of innovative ideas, which is wonderful. I think I'm all for students having more flexibility, because I think part of the struggle, especially if we're looking at AP, IB classes, there are some restrictions that becomes kind of rigid.
Right.
So I'm all for that. On the other hand, when you start speaking of online courses, do you feel that students at high school level have the maturity to handle that level? So the developmental question comes into place.
Right.
With all these innovation, it sounds more and more like we're pushing high school students to function like college level.
Yeah.
Which, having some exposure is a good idea.
Yeah.
But how much is too much and too soon?
Yeah.
I guess that would be again more pedagogical question that I guess at a district level we'll have to address. So I appreciate your personal story about your 3 children, because what you're sharing is that each of them have different personality, different interests, but also different maturity level.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what are we doing as a district where we are nurturing all different students with different
Right.
levels to
Right.
feel they're achieving and thriving, rather than feeling like we're gearing towards certain top students, perhaps?
To address a couple of those points. Number one, we are a high-performing school district, and yes, we are having conversations about kids who are not necessarily going to go to an Ivy League school, and they're in the Walnut Valley Unified School District, and are we meeting their needs? I'm having a conversation this week with the director of the local ROP program, which is more school to career kinds of classes, more hands-on kinds of classes. Because while we are known for having a lot of high-performing schools and high-performing kids, we want to make sure that we're meeting the needs of all kids. And there are some kids who are in this school district who probably need to, as they leave us, go to community college and spend some time maturing there. They need to be looking at taking classes that really interest them, because they're not so interested in the classes that other kids are interested in. And they feel a little out of place sometimes at Dunbar High School and Walnut High School. And that's all true. And everybody's busy and everybody's working hard. But we need to make sure that we meet the needs of all kids. Our motto is every student, every day. We need to live up to that. So it feels good to have kids go off to great schools, and it feels good to have 900 plus API. Are we meeting the needs of the student who has more of a career tech plan? And we need to probably develop RP. I'll be meeting with that director this week. So that was one part. But there was another part to that question, because you asked good multi-layered questions.
Well, it's interesting that, this conversation brings us back to the two extremes. Are we thinking vocational versus, college? I think that there's a wide variety of...
Yeah, it's not really one or the other. It has to be a spectrum. It has to be a spectrum. I know your other question was about online classes and maturity of students. Two things. Number one, a number of students are more dialed into technology than the teachers are. So what looks intimidating to the adults, kids look at it and say, we can do that. But probably the issue of, okay, now kind of total freedom to choose when you are going to do that work, that's more that maturity piece. So we would, if we offer online classes, we're looking at more of a hybrid model, where we would bring kids in and they'd be more accountable. The other thing that's happening with online classes is, as technology advances, you can have real-time classes going on, but going on from home. And kids check in, and computers now, phones now have cameras on them. And there's software that's available where a teacher can be sitting at their desk and they can be looking at 30 students, but it's all on their screen. And they can kind of run that online class. It's a virtual class, but the kids are accountable, and it's like they're there. So where does that fit in? And we're looking at that. More and more colleges are offering online courses, and we're starting to also think that if we don't offer some of those, kids are going to say, I'm not familiar with that, and I've gone to a college where everybody's supposed to know how to do that, and I don't know how to do it. So part of that's just keeping up with how people are learning today, and they tend to learn online a lot. So we're looking at the traditional brick and mortar school and recognizing the value of that. I'm not interested in a totally virtual experience. I think there's something about attending high school, certainly elementary, middle, but also high school, that's part of that maturity process. But if we could supplement that in a healthy kind of way, because we have students who are saying, you all only offer 6 classes and I can really handle 7. And we need to look at how we can support that. So not for all students. We would say you have to meet with your GLC to figure out how to do that, or not. And we've already checked that out. Other questions?
Hi. This kind of just piggybacks on her last question and your response regarding the ROP courses. So the ROP courses are very good courses, but my concern about them is that most of them don't meet the A to G requirements. And I know the University of California right now is working with high schools to develop CTE courses that do meet the A to G requirements.
Yeah.
So are you planning to have the high schools in Walnut Valley participate in the development of some of those courses?
Yeah, that's actually what the conversation is about. And the director, I've worked with her before, named Laurel Adler, and she recognizes that in order for ROP to survive, she needs to align her program with A to G requirements, which are the requirements for the state of California. Because if she doesn't do that, students won't take the courses. So we're looking at ROP courses that have that alignment with A to G. And she's done some of that.
And also, are you working with some of the surrounding businesses to kind of develop some project-based learning, or also have them come in and make connections with the schools so the students can investigate different careers and have a career development program, even if they are going off to a 4-year university?
Yeah. Yes, but not. We're doing that, but not as much as we probably should. We could do a better job with that. When I was in Doherty, we had a strong connection with the City of Hope. And so we had kids as interns at City of Hope. We need to look at our local community and develop partnerships. I think that's very important. And with budget cuts and all that just is a matter of who's going to make that connection. But it's a very good question, and we can do a better job with that.
Okay, last question. Sorry. Also, with the colleges that are in the area, the 4-year colleges and the community colleges, I know some of them are experiencing budget cuts as well.
Right.
Well, not some of them, all of them. And do we have a dual enrollment program with community colleges offering classes on campus for the high school students, and is that going to continue?
Yeah, I met with the president at Mount SAC. He's retiring again this year, but met with him to talk more about that. Also, the dean of the School of Ed at Cal Poly. And the budget issue did come up there, especially at Mount SAC. Mount SAC said, we have trouble paying for we have caps on enrollment, so we're not out looking for more classes to offer. Yeah, you can, kids today can earn college credit at Dunbar and Walnut, but we would like to develop that further. And you know, maybe we could go beyond our geographical area. You know, some of the Claremont colleges are outstanding. Caltech is not that far from us. So could we expand in those directions? That'd be nice to think about, even if we offered that at you know, in the evening or something. It's Southern California. There are a lot of great schools around here, and we need to look at that connection more. Long Beach Unified has a program where students can take classes at Long Beach City College and also Long Beach State, and they can have a direct connect where if you do this and this and this, you get into Long Beach State. Now, they're fortunate that Long Beach Unified is large, and Long Beach City College and Long Beach State are within the school district, so it would be harder for us. But those are the kinds of connections that we're interested in forming. Yeah. We need to do more out of the box kind of thinking like that.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, Dr. Hockman, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
I want to give you a parting shot. People keep forgetting that you've only been in the office, what, 3 months?
2. Yeah.
2 months. So, I mean, the ability to answer and is more of a tribute to you and the work you've done immersing yourself into the school district. Just give us a quick litany on what you would foresee, your future, what you'd like to see in the school district in the future, given all these issues, and what would you like to see?
Right. I want to emphasize what we have and expand it. I want to pay more attention to leadership. I want to look at how we have some fairly new administrators, and are we giving them the support that they need to be successful? The district is known for high expectations, it's known for innovation, and it's known for leadership. So what are we doing about leadership? And I just recently met with our leadership team, that'd be all of our principals and assistant principals and deans, and asked them a series of questions about leadership. I want to develop more of a strategic plan, a clear direction. We could also probably do a better job with public relations, just how we get the word out. We want the community to just not have any doubts about the quality of their school district. And whether that be a flyer in the mail or expanding and improving our website or a Facebook page, we need to look at how we could do a better job of just getting the word out about what we are doing